shot of the Death Valley. A shot of that right now is 32 seconds left in the first half. That we're dealing with some lightning in the area, so a weather delay. Clemson is up 7-0 right now against Georgia Tech. And Kevin Agani, as I mentioned, alongside Booger McFarland here. So Clemson's up 7-0. And when you look at this situation, DJ Uiagalelei, 63 yards in the air. There's just a spark that seems to be missing so far with this offense.
It's like the offense is not in sync. Here's the thing. I think if you're DJ Big Cinco, as we call him, DJ Uiagalelei, you got to talk to the offensive coordinator and say, hey, here's the plays that I like. This is what I want to do. Because right now it seems like they're doing too much, and he can't get comfortable. Therefore, the offense is struggling.
All right, so, of course, we will keep you up to date. We're going to actually assume right now we're just going to roll this like a halftime. So we'll have highlights coming your way as we wait for an update on the weather delay and the lightning issue they're dealing with right now with Clemson. All right, in the meantime, the big story this week, Purdue visiting Notre Dame. The drum outside the stadium, the world's largest drum, too big to fit in the visitors' tunnel, prohibited from the Notre Dame tunnel because, again, it's small for the visitors to come in. So
who builds a 500-pound drum anyway?
Engineers from Purdue. Jack Cohn to Kyron Williams, 39 yards. We've been waiting for Kyron Williams to have a big play moment. That offensive line has struggled to get in sync here early in the season. Cohn to Avery Davis.
Yeah, Cohn to Avery Davis. Here's the thing about it. When you can run the ball, play action pass, it's single coverage down there, just throw it up, way to make a play.
All right, Notre Dame right now with the lead, 17-13. Is this a surprise to you? And when I say surprise, what we've seen from Notre Dame, the first 2 weeks of the season, nail biters.
Yes.
And, okay, the Florida State game, the opening, the emotion. But last week against Toledo, nail-biter in the final minute. Right now, just a 4-point game.
Here's the thing. Notre Dame's offensive line hasn't played well this year. And we're used to this Notre Dame offensive line being physical. The quarterback can sit back there all day. They can run the football. Well, so far this year, it hasn't been that way. So when the offensive line struggles on a football team, then the offense and the team is going to struggle. But they have playmakers. When you can get the ball to Williams, you can play action pass, you can throw over the top. They just have to make sure that they can block up front. If they can do that, there are plays to be made.
When you look at Brian Kelly's team and the way he recruits, their identity is the offensive line, right? And it's just like next man up, right?
Offensive line, big guys, tight ends. Where they've struggled is the skill position players, maybe on the back end. So they got to play to their strength, which is always going to be the big guys, and find a way to get the ball to baby Gronk, Michael Mayer.
No doubt about it. It's good to see Kyron Williams at least back on track with that short passing game. And right now it's a 4-point lead for Notre Dame. And they got Cincinnati in a couple of weeks at home, and Cincinnati had some issues. We will get to that highlight in a moment. Right now, let's update you with Florida, Alabama. Alabama, for the first time in the swamp in 10 years, 14.5-point favorites. And this one, first drive, Bryce Young, touchdown. And then second time they get the ball, it is Bryce Young once again delivering here to Jaleel Billingsley.
Well, this is a great play call. Nice little rub out there, and Billingsley wide open. He just had to make sure, hey, stay in bounds, big fella.
And then Emory Jones, the questions about quarterback, finding an identity here. Is Emory Jones the guy? Anthony Richardson. Richardson's maybe hurt right now because Emory's making some passes he shouldn't.
Well, it's the hamstring. And if you're Emory, hey, one thing you don't want to do when you're falling back with pressure, don't just throw it up. But
okay, here's Young again. Just the ease of this offense to Brian Robinson. It shouldn't be this easy, Bull.
So many missed tackles for the Gator defense. Defensive coordinator Todd Grantham has got to be going crazy.
Malik Davis, little pump there, little push, and eventually getting in. They would miss the extra point. Right now it's 21-9 Alabama. And listen, coming into a game like this, you have the idea that Florida can go toe-to-toe. We saw that last year in the SEC title game on the offensive side. They can't answer on the defensive side, though. They're a little bit beat up, and then when you see Bryce Young here, the question with Bryce Young is, can you handle a big game environment?
You think?
Opening drive, 75 yards. Second drive, 75 yards, both touchdowns.
Well, it's 21-3, and all of a sudden, I thought that the Gators were going to go away. And then Dan Mullen, the head coach, got his team to settle down. They settled down, Kev. Now it's 21-9. They got the ball. They're driving. To me, their defense has to prove and give their offense momentum. We can stop Bama. And now Dan Mullen, who is a great play caller and a quarterback whisperer, he can get these quarterbacks settled down so they can make some plays.
I bring this up, and we're going to talk about this. We won't see this, I think, the rest of our lifetime what Nick Saban is doing. And this is not about just recruiting five-star guys. When you look at the turnover with assistants and offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators and first-round talent, and no matter what, they still look like they're on track. Because when you look at top programs like Ohio State, Clemson, Notre Dame, and I can keep on mentioning other programs, there's still an adjustment. There is no adjustment here, Boog.
Kev, here's the thing about it. Every great chef can go out and get the ingredients, but how many great chefs can put together a great meal time and time again? Every now and then you're going to have a clunker. He doesn't have any clunkers. He doesn't have any meals where you say, you know what, I'm missing a little salt, a little pepper. No, he just has great meal after great meal. He recruits great. He develops. He gets the kids to not leave their junior year and stay and develop even more, so he always has a veteran team. Now, this team is different this year because they got a lot of younger guys, but those guys are still five-star guys making
biggest challenge right now for them is their practices, facing off against each other. And Bill O'Brien deserves a ton of credit as the OC because Bryce Young, everything he dials up, he looks fantastic, especially rolling out.
Well, and for Bill O'Brien to come in the spring, he didn't put his offense in. He learned the Alabama offense. And that's something a lot of people don't think about. They're sitting there saying, okay, well, Bill O'Brien, the new offensive coordinator, he's going to come in and install what he does. No. He learns the Alabama way. And that's why Nick Saban can have the coaching staff turn over time and time again, because we're going to call Alabama's defense, we're going to call Alabama's offense, and the new coaches have to learn what we do instead of the other way around.
Okay, so right now, Alabama up 21-9, favored to win this one by 14.5. And keep in mind, against the SEC East, Nick Saban hasn't lost in a decade. He is 31-0.
That's pretty good.
That is fantastic. Let's go to Iowa here, number 5 in the land. They've been the most impressive top 10 team because who they have beat in the first couple of weeks. Taking on Kent State, Tyler Goodson with the run to the outside.
Well, it's just a great play. Now you suck that defensive end down. He's fighting the play fake, and you flip it outside. That's an easy walk-in touchdown.
And then Dustin Crum to Keyshawn Abram, Kent State. How about the Mac not backing down?
One-on-one coverage. Hey, my guy can make a play against your guy.
Spencer Petras, the Sam Laporta for the score. And it's never going to be pretty with Iowa, but they will grind you out and still beat you for 4 quarters physically.
Their defense and their special teams are outstanding. If they can get the offense, the running game, and the play-action pass to go, they can be, dare I say, Kev, the second-best team in the Big Ten. I don't know if they're better than Ohio State or Penn State, but I think they can be second-best.
We've got some questions with Ohio State. We will see their highlight in a moment. Right now, 16-7. Iowa is up by 9. Petras, 125 in the air. Of course, keeping you up to date here on what's going on. Dealing with a lightning situation, weather delay at Clemson. 32 seconds left in the second quarter. Clemson with the lead, 7-0. More scores, more highlights coming your way after this.
Jake from State Farm. What's good?
Oh, Patrick?
Nah, fam. Just your typical sneakerhead working here for the employee discount. But speaking of deals, I heard regular guys like me are getting the Patrick price. That can't be real, right?
Listen, State Farm offers rates that fit any budget. Even yours, typical sneakerhead.
Wow. Just anyone now?
Yeah.
Man, these just sold out then.
For surprisingly great rates that fit any budget, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
People always ask me, do I miss it?